Hello, welcome to gracevillesolutions. In today's video, I'll be showing how to create a beautiful Happy New Year 2022 flyer just like this. If you're ready, let's go. Alright, so these are the documents or the images that we'll be using for our design. Okay, this is the background image, and this is the image of the client. Alright, so we're going to head into Photoshop. Okay, so we're going to head into Photoshop to begin our design process. Alright, so for this tutorial I'm using Photoshop 2020, but I'm sure the process would definitely work for any other version of Photoshop. So the first thing you do is to create a document. So for this tutorial I'm using a dimension of where is it? I'm using a dimension of 1000 pixels by 564 pixels. Alright, so I just copy this and go into my Photoshop and I click File New. Okay, so I'm going to create a new document. Then I can just say give it a title. I can say Happy New Year, or say 2022 Happy New Year flyer. Alright, so the dimension is 1000. Okay, 1000 by 564. Alright, by 564 pixels. 564 pixels. Alright. The resolution, okay, I think I like the resolution to be something like maybe a 300 pixels per inch. Then your color mode should be RGB, but if you're going to print this design, then it should be in CMYK color mode. But definitely I'm not printing it, so I'm going to leave it at RGB. Then you click create. Alright, so this is our canvas. We've successfully created a blank document. So the next thing is to import the document into Photoshop. So to do that, you click go to File. Okay, there are many ways to actually do this. You can either go to the folder and drag the document into Photoshop, or you can right click and say open in Photoshop, or you come to your Photoshop and you can go to File and then select Place Embedded or Place Linked. Okay, so I click Place Linked, and then it takes me to where the folder where my images are. Okay, the images I want to use for this tutorial. Okay, alright, so this is the folder, and I double click and I select I double click on the image I click on the image I want to import in Photoshop. Then I click Place. Alright, so as you can see, we have successfully imported the image or the background in Photoshop. So the next thing, we are going to draw a circle around where the clock is. Okay, where the time or the clock is. So to do that, I go to where I have my my two bars. Okay, by the left here. Okay, so where I have the rectangle, or the square rather, I click and I hold and I select ellipse tool. Alright, so I hold my shift key down and then I draw a circle. So ensure you hold your shift key down so that you have a perfect circle. Alright, so I don't want any stroke around the circle, and okay, I want the circle to be transparent. So the circle is a bit too large. Let me reduce it. Okay, adjust it a bit. Alright, so I still want to take it down a bit. So that it will to fit perfectly into the clock or the timer. Alright, now I want to make the circle I've just drawn. I want to make it transparent. So to do that, okay, I click the ellipse tool again, and I go to where I have fill, just below the menu bar there. Okay, so where I have fill, I click there and I select no stroke. Okay, this icon, the first icon where you see a white a background with a red stroke that says no color. So I click that, and as you can see, my circle is now transparent. All right, now I want to add a little fill to the circle. Okay, I want to add a little fill to the circle, but I don't want a black fill, or stroke rather, sorry. I don't want a black stroke. I want something, a color from the background. Okay, a touch of gold. So to do that, I click the stroke option, and I click this color palette here, and then I take my color picker and I go to anywhere on the background image where this gold stripe is, and I select that. Okay, why is it not showing me that color? So it's showing that gold color. Okay, so I take the gold color like this, and I click OK. So as you can see, I have given the circle or the ellipse something like a gold color, all right, to match the color of the clock or the timer. All right, so the next thing to do is to import the other image. So to do that, I locate the image folder. All right, this, and I say open in Photoshop. So I right click and I say open in Photoshop. All right, so our image is open in Photoshop. So I can just rename this layer as client's image. All right, now I hold the image, I click and I drag it into my work area here. All right, so I make it a smart object so that it won't reduce the quality. So I ensure it's a smart object. Okay, so I minimize it. All right, I minimize it. Okay, now the next thing I want to do is that ensure that the client's image, okay, is above the ellipse, just like I've done here. Okay, so the next thing to do is that I'm going to create. Okay, so the next thing to do is that I'm going to create a clipping mask. All right, so I'm going to insert this image inside our ellipse. All right, so to do that, like I said, ensure that the image is above the ellipse that you've drawn. All right, so to do that, you select the image layer, and then you right click and select create clipping mask. Okay, so you click create clipping mask. Okay, I'm sorry about that. Okay, I'm sorry about that. Now what happened is this: there's an error here. Why? Because we made the image, we made the ellipse to have, or to be transparent. So as you can see, the client's image went around the circle instead of inside the circle. All right, so to correct that error, right, we have to first of all turn off the image layer, right, and select the ellipse layer, then give it a fill color. All right, so to do that, I click the ellipse tool to activate the ellipse. Okay, then I go to where I have fill. Okay, so I give it a color. Okay, so I can give it maybe a color from the image or from the background. All right, good. So we have now successfully given our ellipse a fill. All right, so now we can now do the clipping mask, or we cannot repeat the clipping mask process. So to do that, once again, okay, you select the image and then you go to create clipping mask. Good. So as you can see, we have successfully clipped the image into the circle. All right, so we can adjust the circle a bit and the image a bit. All right, to ensure that it is properly aligned. All right, so as you can see, we have successfully inserted the image into the circle, into our ellipse. All right, so the next thing to do, okay, you can as well just change the color a bit, or we can, if you wish, you can turn off the fill, or sorry, the stroke on the circle. All right, or you can just leave it like that. Okay, so the next thing to do is that okay, we go to the shape tool here again and select a rectangle. Okay, the rectangle tool. All right, then we draw a rectangle. You hold your shift key, okay, and then you draw a rectangle here. All right, and then you select a color from the same color we used earlier. All right, select a rectangle. Okay, you increase the length a bit. All right, then the next thing you do is that you are going to rasterize your rectangle. Okay, then we are going to apply a motion blur effect to our rectangle. All right, so let me see if I can change this color a bit. Let me use a darker. Okay, so all right, so we can reduce the rectangle a bit. Okay, can reduce it a bit, something like this. It's okay. All right, so the next thing we do is that we're going to apply a motion blur effect to our rectangle. All right, so to do that, you go to filter. Okay, first of all, ensure that the rectangle layer is active. Then you go to your filter and then select blur and go to motion blur. All right, so it says first of all the shape layer must be rasterized or converted to a smart object. Okay, so before you apply the motion blur effect to your rectangle, you have to rasterize it first. All right, so I click rasterize. All right, so you now apply your motion blur effect. Okay, so the higher the value on your distance, the higher the blur effect will be on the rectangle. Okay, so I think this is cool. This is cool. All right, click OK to activate to apply the effect. So the next thing, I'm going to put the name of the client underneath there. So I go to my text tool, okay, where I have T on the toolbar here. You click OK, you click T and then select horizontal type tool. All right, so okay, so you type the name of the client as Mrs. Okay, should be an uppercase. 𝗕𝗢𝗢𝗦𝗧. All right, so okay, I can resize the text and I bring it to and place it on top of the rectangle. Okay, then I want to change the font type. Okay, so I go to by the right hand side here, just okay, on the sidebars here where you have this character icon, you click it, and then where you have character, you click the drop down menu and then you select any font of your choice. Okay, so I think I want this one. Okay, I like this font. It's called 𝗕𝗢𝗓𝗪𝗓. Okay, so I'll leave a link to where you can download that font in the description in case you want that. Then I wish to also change the color to something that will be easy to read. Okay, so I pick a white color. All right, then I'm going to give this color a stroke and give the text a stroke. So I go to my blending. Okay, so I go to my blending options and then I go to stroke. All right, so I select a deep blue color. Okay, a deep blue color, and I reduce. Okay, where we have size, you reduce it to maybe a 1. Okay, or maybe as you wish. Okay, all right, so maybe I make this blue a bit darker. Okay, so I click OK to activate it, and I can reduce the font size a bit. Alright, so that's all for this tutorial. I'm sure you had value from this video. we have been able to create an amazing, simple but beautiful Happy New Year 2022 flyer. All right, so I'm sure you had value from this video. If you did, please give the video a like, share the video with your friends, and also subscribe to my channel. And of course, feel free to leave a comment if there's any part of this tutorial you don't understand. You can ask your questions in the comment section, and of course I'll be there to reply your comments. All right, so thanks for watching once again, and till I see you in my next video, take care and stay safe.